As a first feature, this feels like a pretty ambitious gamble. So how did you go about sketching it? That's a conjecture.
Yeah. So how did it come about? How did we come up with the idea? We started doing short form stuff, like you said, and we found a surprising amount of success by just like trusting our gut when something made us laugh in that world. So we listen to a song, come up with an image, and kind of chase it and try to come up with a story that gave us an excuse to create that story and that image. And along the way, we kind of like accidentally make movies that meant a lot to us. And we tried to follow that same premise here. So it started as a fart joke and then became a fart drama, like over the course of years.
I will say that we're both very self-conscious filmmakers. Like we don't think fart jokes are funny, and we don't think like body humor is like inherently that interesting. But I think because we're
real farts are funny.
Oh yeah, real farts are funny. But fart jokes are not funny because like you're supposed to laugh at it, and for some reason it just feels it's very easy. And I think as filmmakers, we wanted to take that challenge of taking something that most people will look down on and kind of consider very lowbrow, and elevate it to something that kind of represents something beautiful and very human.
Another thing that's very unorthodox about this movie is that you spend the whole time with a dead guy. So talk us through a little bit about sort of approaching that challenge and figuring out, just physically, what you were up against.
It was when I got on set and you started working with Paul and the Daniels and started establishing like that physical relationship with Paul really early on, that it suddenly all started to click into place, and I just felt like I knew what I was doing. I remembered yesterday that one of the first, because we've talked a lot about like how we got kind of physically quite connected quite quickly. And like, because I remember one of the first things we shot was you shaving with my teeth, wasn't it? That was like day 2 or something, so Paul was like running my teeth up against his face. So, we got like very close very quickly.
So the other element that this movie has going for it that's sort of surprising is the musical component, which kind of is threaded into and out of the movie. I don't know if it's even appropriate to call it a musical in a traditional sense, but the way that you use music is very unorthodox. So maybe you guys can talk a little bit about how you threaded that into the story.
The movie is scored by a mostly a cappella score, and both Paul and Daniel sing on camera as well as singing just the score of the film. And kind of the idea was that if a man was stranded out in the woods, like a media-savvy man, he might start kind of singing to himself and scoring his own life and kind of creating songs in his head of like what he thinks this movie that he's living is, And it felt like a cool way to enter into the character, not just with like the notes, but also like the actual instrument is his voice, like you can hear him starving as he's singing.
We definitely really wanted to work against what like a cappella generally is. And so we worked with these composers that essentially this is their first film. They're just a rock band from Georgia that we did a music video for called Manchester Orchestra. And so we kind of sent the script over to them, just being like, what do you guys think? Do you want to jump into this massive project? And the next day, the lead singer sent over a song he wrote specifically for the movie, because he read it, he immediately wrote a song, he sent it over, and that song is now in the ending credits, like the exact recording. He recorded it like on his iPhone and he sent it to us, and it's actually in the ending credits, and it actually became the theme of we would call it Hank's theme, I guess. Just the whole thing's sort of operatic in that there's a lot of themes and motifs that kind of weave in throughout. It's pretty fun.
So what was it like for you guys to sing on set, having this pre-written score?
I mean, it was such a gift to have music that was being written for the film before we went to do it, because it was so inspiring and it really helped bring stuff, the tone, like to life in the imagination for an actor. So you might be reading on the line in the script, something about a boner, but that the music going with that is something like super beautiful.
So how are you doing on distribution, guys?
All of them are going to distribute at the same time for like 200 million, but we're playing hard to get.
Well, on that optimistic note, thanks for being here. Thank you very much.